You're listening to the What the Wrestling Podcast, the show that brings you all things wrestling with your host, RJD.
Oh, you already know what time it is. We got a quick one for you guys today. We're going to talk about interviews, changes in the pay-per-view schedule, and then we're going to get up out of here. But first things first, check out my socials. So, follow me, RJD, RJ699 on Twitter, RJD_199 on Instagram, RJD199 on Snapchat. But most importantly, follow What the Wrestling on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. Follow What the Wrestling on Spotify and Anchor. Follow What the Wrestling because it's a beautiful thing, baby. We got a quick one for you. Let's go. Yes. His eye. RJD here. Welcome. Yes, I hit the wrong button.
You stupid.
Welcome to What the Wrestling, the show that brings you all things wrestling. I'm your host once again, RJD. We got a quick one. We're going to get into a couple of things today. But first things first, as always, hit the like button. Like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. You guys already know. Get the merch as seen behind me on my left. Get some of the merch. Check out the link in the description below. Holla at your boy. Other than that, let's talk about excuse me. Let's talk about this Ariel Helwani interview. Now, this is just a bit of news that happened, and it's been making its waves around. And Ariel Helwani had an interview with Tony Khan, and he said it was like one of the worst interviews he's ever had. Well, he said it was extremely frustrating. He didn't like it. He said, and this is, you can easily go to YouTube and check this out. Ariel Helwani did a 5-minute response video. And he was like, he doesn't think that he likes him. He said he came up guarded. If you see anything pop up on the screen, my cat literally is right here. Can you see his tail? No? I'm like pulling him. He's like right here laid out on the keyboard. So as long as he doesn't hit none of the keys while he's laid out, we'll be all right. But trust me, there's a cat here. He likes to be the center of attention. But anyway, Ariel Helwani said like he didn't think that he liked them. He came in guarded. He didn't want to talk about anything. Obviously, he can't talk about the stuff with Punk or Omega or the Bucks because there's some legal issues going on there. I don't know if these guys are being sued or somebody's suing somebody. I don't know what's going on. All I know is it's legal issues. He can't talk about it. Didn't want to talk about the MJF stuff, he said. He also didn't want to talk about the business. I think one of his quotes was, "I don't do business out in public, so I'm not going to talk about it." So Ariel Helwani got a little frustrated. He said, listen, man, you got to give me something. He's like, there's a way to give me something without giving me something. You understand? And I think he's right. But at the same time, listen, if TK wants to get on there and he don't want to answer shit, then he ain't going to answer shit. He's going to, listen, Bill Belichick doesn't give these reporters anything. So, I remember back in the day, Tom Brady was on the Patriots. So, Belichick, is Brady okay?
Nope.
We're looking into it. So, what you think about the game today? Even if they won, he'd be like, it was all right. Got some work to do. If they lost, he'd be like, it was all right. We got some work to do. You know, it's like, basically, Bill Belichick was like,
Get the fuck out of here!
I'll answer when I want to answer. He didn't answer a goddamn thing ever. Like, he didn't give these reporters hardly anything. It came to the point where they were asking questions, and it would be comical because they knew he wasn't going to answer anything, but they would ask him anyway just to see if what BS answer is he going to give. It was hilarious. I loved it. Shout out to Bill Belichick for not answering any questions. But Ariel Helwani obviously feels a way about, he thinks TK feels a way about him. So that obviously went into the dynamics of this interview. A lot of people have chimed in. Conan says something interesting. And Conan was on his podcast and he said something interesting. And he was like, and I quote, I don't think it does any good for you to go on there and say, no comment, no comment. And I know there are some legal issues because I actually asked Kenny Omega if he could send me a video for Triple Mania directed at whoever wins the battle between Vikingo and Phoenix, Rey Phoenix. But because, you know, he's the number one contender, and he goes, I still can't because of legal issues. So there's something legal going on. And I also want to get into that because Kenny Omega tried. Hold on. Who's this? Jesus fucking Christ. Kenny Omega tried to get at, he was asked to send a promo video to AAA and couldn't do it because I guess he can't do anything. Now, this is me just guessing here. I'm not a lawyer. I do not give out legal advice, but it's affecting everything. And we're going to get back to the interview in a minute, but I want to talk about this too because that one fight between Punk, the Bucks, Kenny, everybody that was involved, it's fucking up everything. Like, it's so crazy how one action could literally derail months and months and months of your career. Like, one action, that one fight. We haven't seen the Bucks. We haven't seen Punk. Well, Punk is injured anyway, but we haven't seen the Bucks. We haven't seen Kenny. We haven't seen anybody. And that one action is causing them to miss shows. And obviously, they got suspended. It's obviously got to be tapping their pockets. It's causing them to miss other opportunities in other shows that they may or may not have had. So it's like that one thing is affecting everything. That is like so alarming to me. But back to the interview. There is legal issues going on. And the Kenny Omega is the former AAA Mega Champion. Kenny won the championship from Rey Fenix in 2019 at AAA's Hero Immortals 13. I think that's X113 13. He has even accompanied by Conan. Yeah, he was even accompanied by Conan during his match at Triple Mania 29 against Andrade El Idolo. Kenny Omega eventually vacated the title in November 2021 due to the fact that he was battling multiple injuries. The title would be picked up by El Hijo del Vikingo on December 4th at Triple Mania Regia 2. I know listen, I feel crazy reading this,
You stupid.
I'm not stupid, but these trying to break down and say another language it gets me sometimes. But Conan had chimed in on the Kenny Omega stuff and chimed in on this interview. Alvarez and Dave Meltzer also chimed in on this, saying, listen, man, Alvarez was like, listen, if the guy don't want to answer nothing, move on. Like, he's obviously no comment, move on. Like, just, that's it. He don't want to answer nothing. He don't got to answer nothing. That's it. It's fine. We out. But Ariel Helwani is like, listen, man, give me something. So he was like, it was very frustrating for him. And listen, as somebody who has, on a very, very much smaller scale, I've interviewed people, I've had conversations with people. Obviously, I have a podcast where I've bounced ideas off of people and talked to people. It is frustrating when you ask somebody something and they don't want to answer. But Alvarez is right. Just move the hell on and go to another topic. I mean, I'm sure you got a list of things you want to get to. And he was like, Tony Khan goes on these rants where he's long-winded on certain answers. There are a lot of people who are long-winded, and when you have a tight window, as Ariel Helwani said, there was a tight window. You as the interviewer have to know when to butt in, or ahead of time, before the interview starts, you got to know, listen, we got a tight window. I got a bunch of stuff I want to ask you, but if I interject, it's only because, I don't want to run out of time. And you got to know how to do that. And he's been doing that for years. He's a very good interviewer, actually. I love Ariel Helwani's interviews. And so I understand the frustration when you try to talk to somebody and they don't want to give you anything. It's like talking to Bill Belichick after a Patriot game. It's like, yeah, this isn't going to work. He ain't trying to give us nothing. So I look forward to, and Tony Khan is normally, he answers everything normally. So I'm surprised. Normally, if there's something that he doesn't want to answer, he kind of bounces around it, but he'll give you something. But his whole thing was, I'm just asking you how you feel, buddy. Just because you don't got to give me specifics. How did you feel about this? At least that's giving me something without giving me something. Like, listen, I can't talk about the legal issues, but, the whole thing just left me extremely disappointed. It wasn't good for the locker room. I just feel like situations like this are not good for anybody involved. That's giving you something without giving you something. And I'm sure TK, he knows, listen, that brother right there is worth a lot of money. He's been running teams for a very long time. He knows how to have a damn interview. So if he didn't want to answer, he didn't want to answer. It is what it is. I want to talk about WWE switching up the pay-per-view schedule. Let's talk about that. So WWE Day 1 is canceled. We the ones. There will be no more Day 1 pay-per-view and more changes for the 2023 pay-per-view schedules to come. So Day 1's premium live events, aka pay-per-view, has reportedly been canceled. According to a report from WrestleNomics, the event is not expected to be rebranded, and WWE currently does not have a pay-per-view or premium live event listed for between Survivor Series on November 26th and the Royal Rumble January 28th. That is very significant. That's like, wow, because normally it's every single month. They rarely go 30 days or more than like 4 or 5 weeks without a pay-per-view. But you know what? Less might be more. The less pay-per-views you have, the more they tend to mean. And there are reports that Triple H likes the more of the old school vibe where pay-per-views mean more, moving away from the gimmick matches. There are reports that might be happening. So if they go from 12 pay-per-views a year to 8 pay-per-views a year, 12 pay-per-views a year to 7 pay-per-views a year, I would love that actually. I think that would be great. We don't need a pay-per-view every goddamn month because more big stuff, I would expect more big stuff to happen the less pay-per-views we have. So the pay-per-views would definitely mean more. as I continue, the event was scheduled to take place on January 1st from the State Farm Arena in Atlanta, Georgia for the second straight year. Brian Alvarez reported that there will be big changes, quote unquote, coming to their premium live event schedule for the next year, with likely more international events and less gimmick shows. Gimmick shows like TLC, Hell in a Cell, Extreme Rules, more international events like the Clash at the Castle, which was extremely successful. I'm sure they're gonna have. They love going overseas. They love going to Canada. So I love the big stadium shows. More of the shows in Riyadh over there. Actually, they got a show in Riyadh coming up over there in the Middle East. So Crown Jewel. There you go. So I expect them to have a lot more of these type shows, because those shows actually, as far as revenue, I'm sure those shows do extremely well. And I love the crowds at those shows. Those crowds are exceptional. So, Dave Meltzer basically Dave Meltzer addressed the issue on Sunday. Quote unquote, Brandon Thurston reported day one has been canceled. There were conflicts with major football games in Atlanta on 12/1, on 12/31 and 1/1. So on New Year's Day, that's supposed to be the day one pay-per-view. But there's a lot of football going on. I think they have if it's on a Thursday, there's definitely football. And if it's on a Sunday and a Saturday, you got to compete with college football on Saturday, and then you got to compete with regular football on Sunday. So keep going. We've been told a few weeks ago that it could be moved, but Thurston reported no pay-per-views between Survivor Series and Royal Rumble hasn't been confirmed. So tickets were not put out on sale yet. They were scheduled to be on sale 9/23. We have asked WWE about this past week and got no answer, because of course you didn't. So if they change the pay-per-view schedule for next year, and instead of maybe 12 to 14 pay-per-views, we get maybe not 6 to 10. We get maybe 8 to 10. I think that's fantastic. I think we don't need 12 to 14 pay-per-views. We got the couple of Crown Jewel shows. Those are big shows. I think there's 2 of them per year. That's 2 right there. You got a couple of international shows you have, maybe 2 to 4 of those. And then you have Money in the Bank. You have Survivor Series. You have WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and one more. What's another one that they have, that they always have? And then maybe you have one more. So you got the 5, 6, 7 with the 2 other shows, and then maybe 1, 2, 3 international shows. Bam. 10 pay-per-views. Perfect. There you go. That's all you got to do. Matter of fact, perfect. That's all you got to do. You don't need 14. Got that. Didn't they have 14, like 13 or 14 pay-per-views one year? That's way too much. You're going to have storylines and switch titles every month? Come on, man. They don't need that many. So hopefully they cut that shit short. We'll see what they want to do. Hopefully that's what they do, but we'll see. Other than that, that's all I got for you guys today with the news. We got Raw today. We got the Raw review tomorrow. We got the Dynamite review on Wednesday this week, along with the NXT review. So look out for that coming soon. I am going back to live streams, but I have to get my audio and stuff set up properly. Every time I go to live stream, I'm having issues. So I'm going to be doing a couple of test streams this week just to make sure my live stream stuff is back on point. And then we will start doing the live streams instead of doing these videos. So with that being said, I am out of here. Everybody be safe. Look at the social media once again. Take your time. Enjoy the day. Be safe out here. And I am out. Peace. Perfect.
Dom DeMarco.